coordination. I've seen blind girls dancing, group dance, It's tremendous coordination, and the people who train them are fantastic. But it does not happen in today's world where people do not want too much time for practice. So you need a lot of practice for this. Okay. The next thing what we are going to deal is called the physical learning. And I think this is very important for us, especially in the modern age. What does the physical learning tell us? The physical learning system is telling us that the attention span is proportion to the age. Now this is something very interesting to know. Now suppose I am in a preschool. Preschool you call that, no? Yeah? A preschool student is what? 4 years? 4 to 5. So what it is saying is, if you are dealing with a preschool in a particular posture, I can pay attention for how many minutes? 5 minutes. That's all. Got it? Now if you want me to sustain my attention, what is your class period? 35 minutes? 40 minutes? 35. If you want me to maintain my attention span for the next 30 minutes, what should I do? A teacher should be smart enough to bring in the teaching a change of posture. Is that point clear? So in a given particular posture, I can pay attention for that much time. So if you are going to sec 1 is what? How many years? 12. So if you are going to that class, remember in a particular posture, they can pay attention to 12 minutes. So if you are in that class, then you need to have at least 2 attentions, change in posture. Got this point clear? Change in posture. So either you give them something to write, look up, read, change, share, but a slight change in posture will give attention back. Now if you have seen elderly people, who are 80 years old, they can sit down in one position for 80 minutes without getting disturbed. And then they see some young people, they get so irritated, but why can't you sit down? Huh? But they don't understand. They can concentrate in one particular posture for 80 minutes. And if they have a great grandson who's only 2 minutes, they get nuts. With all this. Okay. Now let us take this to our classroom. So what we need to do is create new attention span. So depending on the age, you create pockets of new attention span and you get a good class. But if you keep to that one particular posture and you teach, you are in difficulty, you are in trouble. Okay, so let us, so what do you need to do basically is, in this situation, you need to give hands-on learning. Keep children active, interactive class. They're writing, they're talking, sharing. So keep your classes interactive. And so you get children to understand better. Role play the text. This is another area. Sometimes we feel if we do this thing, we'll be wasting a lot of time. I don't think so we are wasting a lot of time. Because you sometimes waste a lot of time helping students to understand what they have not understood. And then you spend a lot of time getting students to keep quiet because they have not comprehended. So if you use some of these techniques, prepare charts for summarization, conduct light exercises, today all top managements or business groups are giving time. They have a place where people can do a little bit of yoga, some breathing exercises, some little physical exercises, and get back to work. Why? Because they want to produce efficiency. They want results. So the moment you are relaxed, your productivity is high. So that's why we do this thing. Introduce activities that change in posture in certain intervals. That is what basically we are talking about there. So you got this physical learning system. So teachers, when you are teaching, make sure there is change in posture. And if you are going to a lower class, more change in posture. If you are going to a higher class, so remember where you are going, and according to that you adjust your class. Okay, is this clear? Okay, the next thing which I want to talk to you at the final learning system is called the reflective learning system. It's a very important thing which rarely happens, and that is the whole idea about today's modern teaching. See, the point today what we are talking and what MOE is telling, you want students to, for the world that is effectiveness, you want for innovativeness, you want for creativity, but you are not going to get that unless you use this reflective learning system. What is the reflective learning system? Now take for example, do you all have some lockers here, bank lockers, where you keep some important thing? Okay. Now, so I don't see many of you using a lot of gold and all those sort of things, but in in India, people like to use plenty of gold and they show the prosperity through gold. Now, you cannot be using gold all the time. You keep it in a bag, no? Okay, in a locker. Now, suppose I have a steel chain. And I keep it in a locker for 3 months. Will that chain, after 3 months, become a gold chain? You get my question? I hope it will. I wish. But will it become? Huh? No. Why not? Why not? Huh?
Chemically not possible.
Okay. So the question is, if you don't do anything with the chain, it will not become a gold chain. The same thing with knowledge. The knowledge is such that if you only learn facts and you do not do anything with knowledge, it will just remain as facts in our mind. You're not going to get creative people, you're not going to get innovative people, you're not going to get people what? The students that MOE wants. And your results will be poor. Okay? And so what you need to do in our learning system is, you need what we call the reflective learning system. The reflective learning system means doing something with the material that is taught. You interpret it, you ask the questions, the why, the how, you challenge the assumption, you see how does it apply in your life, you see what is the difference, you categorize it, you compare and you contrast, you interpret it, you evaluate it, you synthesize it. That means you must allow students to do something with the material. Make that material meaningful, personally meaningful. So this is called the reflective learning system. Now if this does not take place, you will get students with facts, but you will not get students who will get into this good jobs. So you want students to go into a good job. Today I had a letter from a student. She tells me that today what I am, it's because of you. And she's getting into the Infosys. And I have many, sometimes when I travel, I see people in different airports coming up to me. A lot of my students are topmost, CEOs and this and that, all coming from very simple family. And they thank me for this thing. So I have a student now who's going to Infosys all of us know, and simply telling me, the way you encouraged me was, I did not teach, I must have taught maths and all, but the way we are able to help them to reflect, I think that is the way, help them to make connections in their life. It is going to stand a long way in helping them get big posts and in their journey being very successful, not only professionally but in their personal life. So let's see how do we do this thing, reflective learning system. So give time for students to ponder and connect the lesson. So that is where the whole importance of integral pedagogy and the books that ACCS is writing, how we can use this in our the civics and moral education, how we can use this approach in others, we are going to see after the break. how we can get this thing. So help students to ponder and connect the lesson to what they already know, to the inner world of meanings. Use all the 5 learning system. Relate the topic with examples. Entertain alternate views. Ask open-ended questions. You all know what open-ended questions are. Paraphrase, summarize, and relate the current knowledge to current affairs. This last part is very, very important. And for this, teachers, you should read, update yourself. A lot of stuff is coming in your newspapers, and if you are not able to connect what is coming in your newspapers to your subject, you're really not preparing your students for your future career. So this is kindly connect at least one topic, one news item with whatever you're teaching. This is a good way to prepare students for the world that we want them to prepare. So this is what the 5 learning system is about. Now, why do I share this thing? I have done a lot of studies on this thing. Because the point is, if we use only one learning system, you are not helping the students to take advantage of the 4 other learning systems. But if we know this thing, then we can help students to learn faster. And today, those who pick things faster have a better advantage. A better advantage. Because it is a knowledge, we are in a knowledge age, where the more you know, the quicker you grasp, the faster the advantage. And so we must give students tools to help them learn faster and better. Okay, any questions?